What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Today, I'm going to be getting coached by one of the greatest Polytopia players so I can improve and hopefully make it to the World Championship. So let's introduce Innofunni.
Yo, what's up, everyone? It's the Crab, Funny Crab Man here. I want Justine to win. I want to meet him in Sweden. The World Championships are going on. We got to get him ready. I'm going to be commentating those, so I need to see Justine there. He's got to make my heart, all of your hearts, proud. So we got to give him some help. We got to give him some guidance from the number one Elo player on the Polymain server of over 40,000 members. Funny Crab guy. Should we get into it, Justine?
Yeah, let's do it. You can kind of take things however you want.
So, got a really nice start here. I mean, immediately you're thinking construction, right? Like this
Yeah,
level 4 spot. Yeah, straight into it. Yo, something to think about, right? Because you gotta kind of have to consider that like really early on before like even like the explore on your opponent. Should we introduce your opponent, by the way?
yeah. I mean, this one is a special opponent. We were doing some practice, so you know, both of
Ram
us are trying
Dingler.
to improve. Yeah, it's the one and only. Y'all know him.
No, yeah, pay attention to their tribes, right? Because Justini, you won the Zabasi qualifiers and he won the Keku qualifiers for the World Championships, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys end up playing, trying to qualify, this is what the matchup's going to be like. It'll be asymmetrical stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
top-notch edge of the knife tactics. A really nice setup for like markets, windmills, everything. Got these two ruins coming in a week. Both three villages, but obviously the villages that you have are closer together. Not closer together. Easier to get to higher levels. He's got water though in forestry, like the explorer.
Got a
Solid
really nice
ruins.
ruin here.
Nothing to complain about. Does that have to get the second giant out, or is it just for stars?
Yeah,
Park of Fortune
so
there.
yeah, I was actually doing a lot of thinking there with the Park of Fortune because I wanted to not only get some stars, get things going, but I also wanted to think what's going to help me the most in the long term with my giants. And I was thinking in the city that I placed the Park of Fortune, right? I get hunting, there's a forest, and I can get hop growth, I believe. And that's one population short of a giant, or is it a giant? I don't remember exactly how I was thinking in the game. I think it is with the road connection. No, that is
Like
that.
animal burn the forest,
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
farm, and then the level 3 windmill is straight into a giant. Yeah.
yeah. That is a giant. That was one of
Okay.
my plans.
Yeah. You already have a giant here. So playing for the late game for sure. I mean, it's kind of just like all the games, like at this level, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're rating. Makes sense. Kind of scared enough, but yeah, he actually didn't like rammer you off this village or anything. And if he
Yeah,
does,
that's surprising for
hopefully keep the
me.
one too worried. And things look good for you right now.
Yeah,
It's just that I mean maybe this is a long-term vulnerability in the water. Yeah, it's nice for its play. Take some stars. Like trade's nice. You're gonna be getting a ton of stars, and then with this city, you're gonna have enough for your bazaar. I guess my question right now, or like what I'm looking at here, is he's got the water. He has, a nice attack onto this Mosum city, which is a little difficult to defend. He's getting, catapults to try to repel your giants, your most immediate and obvious. You got to be
Yeah.
looking at some way, like once you get all the stars and trade set up to actually take these cities. Like, what's kind of going through your head, or what are you identifying as what you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, kind of during the game, it was just, I hope knights are good enough. If they make a lot of catapults, that's the only thing my giants wouldn't be able to deal with. So if they have a lot of catapults, though, I just get knights. And if they like go for my like eastern cities, I'm honestly just kind of fine giving them away because if they take them, then I can easily just attack right back. It's hard for them to hold, and they also have to defend
Yeah,
their western area at the same time.
yeah. This one city seems a little vulnerable to cloaks if you can manage to bring them over. It's a little difficult if only this like fruit tower to really reach. Oh, he's got like a spot for like some bombers to defend all these cities. It seems like he's kind of been cut off from the rest of the map, and if we turn off fog, you can see, yeah, definitely not up on villages,
Hmm.
but it's a very defendable position for him. But I like markets, of course. Oh shoot, market right in the. I guess gonna put this, yeah, right there. Burn this, and that'll give you the giant on the city. Oh, not burn this. Yeah, just use the road. Yeah, you were talking about this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the population adds. Okay. Yeah, you got some really solid giants, but he already smacked your catapult once. I don't know, this Ramdingler guy, he's no slouch. Getting his own market set up.
This was a pretty scary attack.
Yeah. He's pushed you back a little, but you've got this village, and he still hasn't really attacked Mosum. We're gonna see a wall here, stars, like stars. Yeah. Yep, the knight's gotta come in now. I mean, like, if the best time for knights was like a turn ago, the second best time is like now.
Hmm.
Yeah, these giants are spooky.
Yeah, and he gets knights of his own in return.
I think the chain might go, but yeah, only the one catapult's not as good. Oh shoot. No climbing?
Yeah, I kind of forgot to get climbing. I was like so focused on everything during the game. I was a little lower on time than I'm used to because I actually score counted in the early game, which usually never do that because I find it too time consuming
Hmm.
and it's boring and lame. But I actually did it this time, and then kind of like at this point in the game, I'm panicking a little bit when it comes to like making sure I don't throw this game because I have a good position, and then also actually making sure to do everything. I did like climbing just completely slipped my mind here. I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope I didn't throw.
Yeah, so I guess for the future, you're gonna think more about
Yeah,
score counting faster, like practicing that.
yeah, and hopefully I'll never forget to go for climbing again. Like if that happened in Sweden, I'd never forgive myself.
But yeah, no, this is a crazy night chain. Um, it's not that crazy, but it's tough for sure. Like now you just get climbing. I don't know
Yeah,
what this knight was doing here. He seems a little out of place. But yeah, it seems like I mean, obviously a mistake, but recover.
yeah, it could have ended a lot, a lot worse, but
Yeah,
thankfully it didn't.
yeah, well, that's a good win against obviously a strong player for qualifying.
Yeah, I felt like things
Uh,
were like for the most part pretty smooth on my end. This was like one of my better games, but were there any details in particular that kind of stood out other than missing the climbing?
yeah. Well, I mean, the arc of this game, if I had to say, is like the ability to like identify like early construction, like seeing that great level 3 win, level 4 on capital, and how benefits your other cities too. Placing that Park of Fortune well, like identifying the markets, all this stuff for the late game. And also, I kind of want to ask Ram what was going on, but I'm just gonna guess that he didn't have the ability, the infrastructure to like actually attack this city from the water. He might have been able to get some stronger attack going there. But if the core question of the early game is like go hunting or construction, I think you picked the right one. It wasn't luck that brought you that decision either. I think it was just like a
Okay.
very well played game from you. Areas for improvement. I think you could have gotten knights earlier if you like zoom back. Those catapults. I mean, it doesn't end up hurting you like when you got knights, but you did lose a lot of health from the one giant. I'm wondering if you got a lot of the turns.
Oh wait, can I just
Yeah,
get them turn 14? Because I think I was
you
very
got like
focused on the
43
giant
stars.
push.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, knight is 44, so I can just barely do it if I disband the warrior.
Yeah. I mean, even with the 'cause you get at the end of turn 15, right? Yeah, two
Yeah.
knights. Because I guess the biggest question, of course, is not just like you get one knight, but do you have the knight with the proper support for it? Because you're going to need, like we see on turn 16, all of the riders and such to actually help you chain through that and break that giant zone of control defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think turn 14 it was possible with
Yeah.
like some other kinds of like strategic reworks. This is like kind of similar to like that Cabanos game, right? I think you got knights a little later than
Yeah.
was optimal there.
I think I was a little greedy maybe because I
Yeah,
was
I think it
just
worked out here
yeah.
for sure. And like those kinds of games where like the advantage is less obvious. Like this city's like more under attack. Maybe if he's putting pressure on you like here and in the water, like sieging this with rammers, more difficult. That might be something to think about optimize. I think it was a
Yeah.
pretty clean game all around, showing off why you won that tournament. Yeah, this game,
Yeah. Yeah, this one was
I'm
just
just
against
gonna
a random, but I think it was interesting to see this IMO matchup because I actually have not played against the new IMO with Savasi before with these settings, so I wasn't entirely
yeah,
sure if I took the right approach here.
I do like the triple warriors. Like obviously it's strong to get that lighthouse. Then it can be useful later on too. This guy, a little conservative. Construction again, yeah. Construction's obviously weaker now. But okay, I have to ask before about like this explorer. Had you already identified like the kind of lakes map it was where it was a big connection in the middle?
Um, a lot of it's kind of vibes. The big thing that was kind of telling me that is, well, I didn't see any water in the middle, and also just all the water in the west kind of felt like it was gonna
Yeah.
be like two different lakes because that's pretty common pattern there. So I felt
You
pretty
got
good
a,
about the explorer.
a good explorer for sure. Oh shoot. Yeah, just one star off. Okay, this is again because I did say like this warrior was a little conservative.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, now
may
it's like delaying giant,
yeah, maybe misplay there.
but he seems like he'll prove useful in trying to take over this city, possibly. So we'll have to see. Full Park of Fortune. And yeah, I mean, like the map situation's different from last game, of course. Seems like,
Hmm.
well, not quite the opposite, because it's not really like they have more villages than you, 3 on 3, but you certainly have less room for expansion. You gotta go straight into fighting. So the early giant's nice, and probably like rode onto this village, maybe.
Yeah, that's the plan.
They want nothing to do with you. So they're picking up mathematics into trade again. Obviously, construction into trade is strong. Um, the only thing I could possibly caution about it is make sure it doesn't become like, your only weapon.
Yeah, because I mean, in the mirror matchups, I had a big variety, but in some of these others, it's hard to tell what I'm actually supposed to do. So I just kind of defaulted to
Hmm.
construction trade here, even though my markets are noticeably worse than the other game. And their markets are very good, as you can see.
Yeah, I mean that might be a big thing just for like the IMO matchup. Um, Obviously you got like kind of the king's share of the land, those two villages. I don't know if they've captured anything in the west. It doesn't look like they're about to either.
Yeah,
But
because
you've
I
got
just
more villages than they do. Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, go
I've
ahead.
got the city advantage, but what I was kind of worried about, it didn't actually happen this game, but I was like just the whole time thinking they have catapults to support their giants, and what if they just get more giants, like mining Smithery, get a ton of giants. I don't have good giant potential. How do I defend that as Zavasi? Like,
Yeah, like the central city becomes a targetable weakness, kind of like what you were talking about last game, where like your water cities you didn't mind losing so much because it was really easy to retarget them. Uh,
yeah,
the city like both sides can be targeted. Feel like they've got the nice defense. Yeah, that's the big thing about like slowing down playing for a later game. Like you're the turn zero tribe with like earlier economy and such, but you can't really attack through the city. Like you kind of claim this and then sit down and then have to build your advantage after. Whereas, yeah, they play for the late game just by having philosophy, getting a ton of giants, making it really hard to defend this city.
yeah. That's kind of my worry. I was assuming with this matchup, I just get better markets than this, but like, what if I don't get better markets? Because
Yeah,
they make some misplays by giving me the night chains. Because that
oh
was
for
just my
sure.
plan here is uh, get catapults or not get catapults, get knights. Hope they mess up, and yeah, they give me a
I mean,
second
it seems like
chain.
yep, yeah, big chain.
Yeah, because yeah, unfortunately, when going against randoms, you're not always going to get the best competition. But the main thing is just what is like my answer if the opponent were to not give away the chains and they were to make giants as I would have
Yeah,
expected them to do.
because I mean, yeah, just looking at this position right here and comparing it to like right before, like right after you buy that night, like just completely different.
Yeah, because I don't think this is how the trajectory of the game should have gone. They can easily defend chains here. I have realistically no way of actually breaking through if they know what they're doing. So my question is, if this opponent knows what they're doing, what should I be worried about, and how do I actually like deal with it?
I think you played accurately for this map, right? Just that
Hmm.
they have, late game advantages in the fact that they have like, Mindbender healing stations, or at least, one if they don't want to buy anymore. Philosophy, so they can hopefully like hope to pump out a lot more giants than you do, just because of the, like the city's kind of a bum city, bum city, bum city. Um, Although I guess you can like road fish, like bird and windmill for giant here.
Yeah, I was actually
What
looking at a
population do you get?
border growth in that city because it upgrades my other market.
Yeah, absolutely. That's smart. But in either case, the giants you have would be like a little harder to get than they do with philosophy. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
looking at like okay, for the tactics here, I'm seeing this catapult is really well placed behind like their giant. Your giant wants to be on this tile or like, any of these tiles, like away from their giants, but still defending the city if they decide to step on. So that you can
yeah,
attack with the giants, then clear for the rest of your units. And while that's happening, they just like keep soaking up damage, like just keep attacking with this catapult. I mean, the mistake they make is like this,
yeah.
right?
They just give away the same chain twice, basically.
Yeah, like for this mountain. But these mountains are really valuable before the rider comes up here. This catapult's well positioned, like well defended. This giant zone of control combines with the mountains to deny those kind of night chains. So they can like chip away at this. Then if they get their own knight, like suddenly your defense against their giant, like just stepping in, like on both fronts is weakened. And you've got to find a way to deal with their giant. You've got the markets up and you've got a bunch of stars. While they still have like limited giants around here. What do you think about just like sacrificing riders? Like instead of just spacing them out, literally just sacrificing them, get a night chain through the giant into the catapult on the next turn. Because
Yeah.
it seems to me like you have enough units to go through like that.
Yeah, one of my ideas was just doing that, but with knights, because I can afford to just use a ton of knights and go
Yep,
that
yep.
route. And but I'm wondering, are there situations when they have too many giants and I need an actual dedicated giant counter? What am I doing as the bossy? Do I have to just go for math, make some really hard pivot, or is there something else I can
Yeah, no,
keep
it
in mind
seems
for
really
dealing with the
tough.
giants?
Yeah, I mean, using this game as like the concrete example, like the best plays, sacrificing, like just brute forcing of knights instead of making that pivot. Because by this point, the conventional like counters like archers are difficult to use when they have knights. It feels like he eventually like goes after the city. Um, it is still level two. I'm kind of interested in like a wall here.
Yeah, wall defender actually doesn't seem too bad, so I can actually set that up quite easily.
Yeah, kind of the same thing as earlier. Like this game, I think again the construction was a very good idea to play for this and get into knights like for the Jets and like some kind of expensive burnings, just because of the fact that um you can't really like attack these cities really easily. Like they're
Yeah,
just
that
too far away.
that was
You're not
one
gonna like
thing.
ride or rush them.
Like I
Yeah.
had no attack on them. I felt like it was entirely up to them messing up for me to actually win this game, which is what happened. But like, I guess maybe I would have to hope I either get really good markets or attack or have some attacking opportunity. I guess like something like that. That's what I'm kind of getting out of this. Is if it gets to the late
Yeah.
game and we're in a position like this and the opponent knows what they're doing, realistically, this isn't actually good for me.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like the combination of like the three elements, right? Like the catapults are, already existing, the giants that they can make more of, and then the knights to prevent this kind of defense that you have going on. And I mean, they're IMO, they can do all three.
Yeah.
But yeah, you still have advantages because you were able to expand more quickly, like take more of the map, like, grab these cities even over in the west before it looks like they'd be interested.
Yeah, so I guess I can kind of kick off this last one. So, yeah, this game was kind of interesting because my spawn was I feel like it was kind of bad and yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a good thing that during the important games, you're never gonna have a bad spawn.
Mhm. But yeah, I go construction again because I see the other city. I just kind of ignore the one in the middle for a while, which I'm curious. Do I
Yeah,
consider even bothering with that? Like, is construction the right call here? Do I even care to go org hunting or riding roads hunting?
that's exactly the thing, right? Because you look at this city, and maybe if it was like two fruits or like two animals, I'd be like, yeah, definitely. But like a one fruit, one animal, I don't know. Feels like something they just have to wait on. Feels like the Polytopia universe, like throwing a middle finger.
At
Like, yep,
zero
I'm gonna give you.
farms too.
Yeah, it's a bossy farm rate. I don't think so. I'm
I
kind of
know.
wondering about this setup here because you've got a couple. you know, uh, forests to burn. Well, like imagining a like construction spot here, one here, one here. I don't know. I'll see what you do with it. We'll all see. Oh, yep. Solid. Pick up yeah, a couple burns for a giant there and there. A very rare barter farm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the Explorer is really nice. They're even better now, yeah. At grabbing
Yeah.
lighthouses like that.
Yeah, this one was version 114. I got pretty lucky there. Now this I make
Yeah.
a play here. So my idea was I see them going right of roads, and I'm thinking I need to get a giant here because I burn two forests, get a windmill that is a giant. And I'm thinking also I need to hold the city. If I don't hold the city, I lose. Because I just gave them two farms and a park of fortune. I mean, even if I don't, I'm still giving them a farm and like the forest. And if I give the city away, I'm at three cities. So I'm wondering, is my instinct correct there? Do I need to hold the city? Is like super important, or am I overreacting with the
I
that
think it's
city
like
there?
yeah, I think like key thing goes back to like this city being so terrible. Because if you had units to like trade on this city to defend this one with, you'd be fine. But I mean, pop capped, level one, not good. I'm a big fan of the wall here because obviously, like this is the bottleneck on this lakes map. They cannot reach your cities but by this one. So you wall here. Suddenly, the Rider Roads is much less effective. It's even a little challenge to their giant, which we can assume safely. Yeah, they are going to get a giant here. Question of when, not if.
Yeah. And I'm assuming with Rider Roads, it's gonna take at least a bit of time to get their giant in this sort of
Yeah,
position.
especially because I mean lakes, and this feels like it would have been at least these two cities very helpful for them, if not bizarre, at least getting the population on their capital. But you've cut them off, so it
Hmm.
feels really solid. It feels like big bone in the throat, so to speak, for them. I'm a big fan of the wall. Oh, and another reason the wall is nice and no roads. Maybe they've got enough riders to make that a problem, though.
Hmm. Yeah, they can
But
siege
yeah,
this turn.
you're able to giant push here, so oh shoot.
Yeah, this is where it gets really scary. My saving grace here is that the opponent was really bad at managing their time. So later in the game, they had some time pressure, but I'm not sure if like this position was like just really bad from the beginning. But this post giant push feels really awful
Yeah,
because
because they're getting ready to get a whole siege here. Oh,
yeah, and
yeah, I feel like it was close enough that they could have sieged with the veteran swordsman.
yeah, if they did that,
Yeah,
then
attack with the giant first.
that's kind of it. But I think the
Um,
more unfortunate thing is I'm pretty sure this is actually still bad for me because my giant
yeah,
is too slow.
yeah, because even with this, just like all the units you have around here, well, you've got some stars, but you don't have org even, so yeah, pivot to defenders isn't likely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't
And
even
like
afford them here.
yeah, like your capital giant, like you can't even road it in, and like you still don't have like the machinery to deal with this. Worse, yeah, he's getting on the water too. Hmm.
Yeah,
I guess this is like a tactical oversight for turn 11 U. I mean, you see the road, you see the veteran swordsman, like the instruments of your demise, and the warrior stays on the city.
yeah. I guess thing is though is if they have a rider on the city, the problem is I can't tell. They can just road in anyway.
Yeah, isn't it better to deal with the rider on the city than the veteran swordsman?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Actually, I
That
don't know if it is.
no, I can kind of see because I could save the giant push for later and actually get my giant there in time because I just need one more turn to bring my giant over.
Yeah, feels like something that's possible. I mean, there's obvious, advantages to this too. Just like look at their turn, how many, wounded riders they end up with. Um, I'm also wondering if like it does it slow them down on getting to this village at all? Because I think if they just placed a bunch of roads there and started the turn of, yeah, they've got a rider on here already.
Yeah.
And the smart thing to do would probably be to siege with this 5 health and place the 2 roads and just send the full health rider on there. Oh yeah, interesting tactics. But yeah, no, so it's still a tough position. Ooh, I skipped a little further forward. I wasn't expecting this giant to go forwards. But yeah, no, he goes veteran swordsman like that, and it seems like he was destined to die anyways. Okay,
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Yeah, and then they kill my giant for some reason, which I was so confused by.
Instead of sieging.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
because
now
it
you
just
got
it just holds.
yeah,
And like my plan was, I hope I can take it back, but I guess that's not happening. They're still in the water though, and it's still kind of rough.
the
They let
water's a
me hold
scary
on
bit.
at least by messing everything up.
Yeah,
And
now they slowed down. Big mistake. Well, it's kind of like the scale of mistake is if they take this city, right? That's a grand bazaar for them.
yeah,
You got 3 cities. Very difficult to take this back. They're on the water. You've got no naval presence. But now, like this city feels like it's kind of offsides for them. Like they've given you a place to attack. They don't have this nice walled city. So I guess the wall might have been even a mistake because if they are able to take it, now they've got a walled city, and that's a bone in
yeah,
your throat instead of the other way around.
yeah. That was like one thing I was kind of considering, and I was kind of going back and forth, like because if they take the city with the wall, I'm extra screwed. But at the same time, if they take the city, they take it, and so
Yeah.
that's kind
What
of
was this?
one of the things I was thinking is I have to keep the city, so that's kind of
Yeah.
why I preferred going for the wall.
So I think this is like a kind of gambler's thinking or logic, yeah, and it is worthwhile, right? So I think let me like characterize the thinking like this. So this city here, I have to take a wall on it. Um and like they take the city and that's worse that it has a wall and I didn't get the 5 stars from it. Like harder for me to attack. Don't get those benefits. But me taking the city and them, messing up a little bit, letting me keep it is the only way that this is playable or allows me to win. So it's, smart, like identifying the win condition, and it does end up working for you. They make some mistakes like that. I think that's the kind of thinking that might cause problems at Worlds, though.
I
It's like,
mean,
the only way to win this game, but it's also like, any of those kinds of things where it's like, if they play correctly, it's going to be a problem for me. They're going to find it. It's going to be a
yeah,
problem.
because I mean, I always have this thought process when I have bad spawns because I can tell obviously my spawn is just terrible, and
Yeah.
like even with like a qualifier games, when I had a bad spawn, I kind of prefer to play risky in some ways. Like I feel like the pressure is kind of off because it's not my game to win. It's just how can I make the opponent mess up and how can I make things as annoying for them as possible, which has helped me win some games, but also I'm not sure if I'm missing any opportunities or if there's any flaws in that thinking.
Like, basically, it's just like the better your opponent is, like the harder it is to get this kind of thing to work.
Yeah, but I
But we
guess I'm
continue
wondering
on.
is it worth trying this sort of thing in the first place or just saying, "Oh, my spawn's worse, that's it."
It's
Or is
not even
there
like a "oh my spawn's worse, that's it" kind of thinking. It's just kind of playing to your like advantages and what's actually going to happen in the game.
Yeah. So, okay, I
I'm
guess
not,
follow-up
yeah,
question.
definitely never advertise, giving up for a game,
Yeah. So,
but
I
this
guess
kind of thing.
yeah, if I can't keep the city, what are my outs then? Because I wasn't thinking about the game because I was thinking, the city's a non-negotiable, I have to keep it. That's why I kinda went
Yeah,
all in because
yeah.
I see my
It's
market
really
spots and
difficult.
I don't love them. It's,
Yeah, because I can't, recommend you anything like, "Hey, I think that, should have, played like this because this makes things worse for you when that happens." They do things like, you have to play, identifying your win condition. Like, the better it gets, the less likely, they are to make these kind of, mistakes that allow you to, turn anything around, but, yeah, I mean, you can't really stop playing like you're going to win either. Ooh, he doesn't like his own writers. So you've got your yeah.
yeah, I get some pretty annoying naval control this game that I have to fight against as well.
Keep fog off for the rest of this. And really,
Yeah.
what I'm seeing here is, yeah,
Yeah, it's mostly they got on time pressure and I was able to stabilize now. Because I think at this point, I prefer my position. I have trade, and this is kind of what I'm used to, going construction trade, and then I have a bunch of stars to work with, and I know what
yeah.
resources I have here.
I think the big thing is a question of what went on around Mozum, and I think it's that you can probably cut out the little bits of silence looking at this, but yeah, sacrificing all these writers around here for the one giant. It does it. It ends up, the giant's gone, but their position's really hollowed out. They've got this giant in the water. You've got your giant. This giant lands, right? It wants to, anyways. Yeah. So this is big question mark play right here, right?
Yeah.
How many stars did they have at this point? Yeah, so he ends with stars because I think what he wanted to do instead was move this raft back here, pick up a scout, take out this warrior, and then move the giant here. So not in range of your own giant and getting hit like that, but in range to threaten the city. Yeah, walking it because he had some pressure here that he could have made with the juggernaut, and then the scouts and whatever in the water. But he's sacrificed his riders, take out your giant, and he's not applying pressure here anymore. Now, as soon as not applying pressure, right?
Yeah, now I get to apply
Oh,
pressure there and
oh,
get trade.
what? What happened? What happened here? And then it kind of snowballs from there. He still doesn't have pressure. These scouts aren't really doing anything meaningful. Your walled city is you feel safe as can be. Uh, you upgrade all your markets, and that's how you arrive at this position where you're feeling better. Yeah, just
Yeah.
letting off the gas, taking not pressuring the city for just a couple turns. That's all you need to turn it around. So it's a lot of exciting things that happened around this city that you were able to wall identify that this is going to be under a lot of pressure. I need to do something to alleviate it. Non-negotiable to lose this. Might have moved that one warrior back the one turn, but I mean, you showed really that you only need the one turn. Just the market's up, and then suddenly you're in the ports here, and zooming through the rest of the game. Wow, you're pressuring that city up north a lot. Wow, you've really just turned everything around.
Yeah, markets are pretty nice.
Yeah, absolutely strong. I guess the only thing I would say about this game is it kind of highlights the importance, the people playing in world qualifiers probably going to be having less problems managing their time and everything. like that. Uh,
Yeah.
they're not going to be like letting up pressure on this kind of city. Just like how it is categorically different, like the kinds of practice games you get, like with certain like tier player versus kind of random opponents that it's a lot easier to find matches with.
Yeah.
I think they're
I mean,
categorically different. I think it's like you got to get like the practice with the second group, which sucks because it's way harder.
mhm. Yeah. Seriously. I mean, on the plus side, at least playing against a random here versus playing against a pro here, I stand no chance against a good enough player with this spawn. I think just simple as because they're taking my city, they're playing the tactics correctly, and they're crushing my hopes and dreams. But at least I can try to play these difficult positions against randoms and feel like I have a chance, which is at least a bit of a silver lining with this sort of practice.
Absolutely, but I think you got like some effective ideas for how to play these kinds of situations. I mean, the three replays we got over was kind of a strategic dearth. We saw like the same construction trade over and over. But what do they say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hmm.
Them's
Yeah.
my ideas for what. If I was gonna keep practicing four worlds, those are things I would do. Try to check out different like the strategies, even if they feel really bad. Just like see how they work, and then you never know what's going to be useful in like some really weird game. And like, wow, I'm glad I practiced that earlier, even if it was terrible in all the games that I tried practicing it in. Uh, keep playing like as strong a competition, as strong opposition as you can get in practice. See like what weird bizarre strategies they're gonna go with and like how they combine with like the top level tactics.
Mm. Yeah, I suppose it's a good point trying some new things, even if it's. I guess the
I
tough
mean, it's
thing is
just
always
practice.
like, yeah, when to apply certain things because I feel like I know when to apply the good old construction trade. It feels pretty straightforward. Been practicing it
Yeah,
since the qualifiers when I learned about the strategy.
and obviously, I'm aware that more strategies and such. It's just like with the replays, it was the only one.
Yeah, it's a little limited here because I know like sometimes you want to go like riding, sometimes you go. I've had sometimes where hunting archery is even the idea, but that one's usually less common. Usually it's between riding and construction or the occasional naval. But I mean, the boss usually is pretty simple strategically, which I mean, I don't mind too much. That's a less pressure when I'm potentially on stage.
Absolutely. Well, you got a really good case for making it. I'm in the top six. I wish you really good luck because I want to meet up with you in Sweden.
Yeah, I want to see you in Sweden as well. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I believe in you. So you get a thumbs up for me, Justeeni. Some really good games. Just keep practicing, man. You got this.
Hmm. And I have to do a shameless plug for Innofunni's channel because it's Innofunni. I mean, he's coaching me through this, which is great. I very much appreciate that, and he makes good content, which is also very cool. I like people that make good content. But yeah, I guess it's outro time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.